Welcome back, everyone. Lunchtime. Um, we are still, this is part two. We are Ventures 3, Salvation, Unit 7. We are now going to do page 90. And before we do that, I would like you to listen. So first we're going to have a listening exercise, and I would like you to listen carefully and then try to think about where it is that you didn't understand. I think I will know. Okay, here we go.
Page 90, exercise 2. A credit card nightmare. Soon he and Joseph Kim got their first credit card a week after they got married. At first, they paid off the balance every month. The couple's problems began after they bought a new house. They bought new furniture, a big screen television, and 2 new computers. To pay for everything, they applied for more and more credit. Soon, they had 6 different credit cards, and they were more than $18,000 in debt. It was a nightmare, says Mrs. Kim. The interest rates were 19% to 24%. Our minimum payments were over $750 a month. We both got second jobs, but it wasn't enough. I was so worried about paying off the debt, I cried all the time. Luckily, the Kims found a solution. They met Dolores Delgado, a debt counselor. With her help, they looked at all of their living expenses and made a family budget. They combined their 6 credit card payments into one monthly payment with a lower interest rate. Now, their monthly budget for all living expenses is $3,400. Together, they earn $3,900 a month. That leaves $500 for paying off their debt. We've cut up our credit cards, says Mr. Kim. No more expensive furniture. In 5 years, we can pay off our debt. Now we know credit cards are dangerous.
So I have written down on the board the places that I thought might have given you listening trouble in that particular section. Let's go over the ones that I wrote down. So the first one says, big screen television. Everyone? Good. The next one, it was a nightmare. Good. The next one, interest rates. The next, all the time. Then there was a woman's name, Dolores Delgado. And she was a debt counselor. Remember, debt is D-E-B-T, but the B is silent, so it comes out sounding like debt. The next, with a. So this is with a, but if you say it really quickly, it's going to sound like with a. I want to go with an other person. I want to have her, I want her to come with me, and I want her to come with another friend. Good. The next one, monthly budget. I thought that might have given a little bit of trouble too. What is it? That's right, monthly budget. And the last one, cut up our credit cards. I thought cut up might be a little tricky to understand. Cut up our credit cards. Okay, so now what I would like us to do is to go to the student book, Ventures, page 90, And we're going to read this out loud and see if you can catch the places that you didn't understand. And hopefully this will help you to do it. Also, remember, we are reading out loud. Here we go. A credit card nightmare. Sun Hee and Joseph Kim got their first credit card a week after they got married. At first, they paid off the balance every month. The couple's problems began after they bought a new house. They bought new furniture, a big screen television, and 2 new computers. To pay for everything, they applied for more and more credit. Soon they had 6 different credit cards, and they were more than $18,000 in debt. What is that? 18,000. Good. $18,000 in debt. It was a nightmare, says Mrs. Kim. The interest rates were 19% to 24%. Our minimum payments were over $750 a month. We both got second jobs, but it wasn't enough. I was so worried about paying off the debt, I cried all the time. Luckily, the Kims found a solution. They met Dolores Delgado, a debt counselor. With her help, they looked at all of their living expenses and made a family budget. They combined their 6 credit card payments into one monthly payment with a lower interest rate. Now, their monthly budget for all living expenses is $3,400. What is that? $3,400. Together, they earn $3,900 a month. That's the way we would say it. You can say $3,900 a month, but Americans like to do everything very quickly, very fast, so it's going to be $3,900 a month. That leaves $500 for paying off their debt. We've cut up our credit cards, says Mr. Kim. No more expensive furniture. In 5 years, we can pay off our debt. Now we know credit cards are dangerous. Hope everybody found the places they had difficulties while listening. If you would now please turn to page 91. The next page, it says, after you read, check your understanding. So I'm going to ask the question, and I'm just going to leave a small period of time so you can answer at home. Please remember to use a complete sentence, not just one word. I want you to use subject, verb when answering these questions. So the first question is, and everyone can read this too, what word in the article means terrible experience? That's right. I'm hoping that you said the word nightmare means terrible experience. That's the example of a full sentence in answering the question. Number 2, everyone, what is the main idea of the article? So this is going to vary a little bit, but the subject verbs should still be the main idea is being careful with credit cards or using credit cards wisely. Good. Number 3, let's read. When did Mr. and Mrs. Kim get their first credit card? So they got their first credit card after they got married. Next, when did their problems begin? Good. I hope you are answering that out loud using a complete sentence. So together the answer is the couple's problems began after they bought a new house. Number 5, how did they pay for everything? Well, there are several different ways you could answer this. One way would be they used credit cards to pay for everything, or they paid for everything with credit cards. And you may have another way to explain it. Just as long as you're saying subject verb, your answer is correct. Next, according to the article, what things did the Kims do to reduce their debt? So the first thing they did was to find a credit counselor and meet with a credit counselor. So the Kims met with a credit counselor and found a solution to their problems. And the more detailed explanation would be they looked at all of their living expenses and made a family budget. Next, they combined their 6 credit card payments into one monthly payment with a lower interest rate. So those were the two main things that they did to reduce their debt. Next, do you think the Kims will have financial problems in the future? Everyone's going to have a completely different answer, but think about how you might answer that. Okay. Continuing on page 91, please go to section B, and we're going to pronounce the words in the vocabulary line. Number 1, credit card. Next, debt counselor. Next, family budget. Next, interest rates. Next, minimum payments. So these are compound words. And what is a compound word? That's right. It's two separate words combined together that has one meaning, not two separate meanings for each word. And sometimes it's very close to what the two words mean, and sometimes it means something completely different. Okay, so we're going to read section 3 that says match each compound word with its meaning. Number 1, credit card. Good. Everyone, please read out loud. A small plastic card that allows you to buy something now and pay for it later. Interest rate. Good. D, the rate, percentage of interest that you must pay each month on a credit card balance. 3, minimum payment. What does minimum mean? Mini, smallest, minimum. So the answer is going to be C, the smallest payment you can make each month on a credit card. 4, debt counselor. Good. A person who helps you solve financial problems. Last, family budget. Good. A spending plan that a family makes for itself. So before this video finishes, I wanted to show you the little book again at the end for vocabulary. And things on the front of this are sequins, sequin. And this is a journal. Journal. Sequin, bright shiny object or circle that you sew on as decoration. Journal, a book to keep track of daily activities or whenever you feel like it. It doesn't have to be daily, it can be any time at all. So, what are the words? Sequin, journal. Thank you and see you next time.